These are some of my vegetables. And this is the Twitter, you can have me on here. And this is me when I was about 7 years old. When I started wanting to work with kids, I thought I'd better take a look at myself when I was 7-year-old and think how I felt about life. And I think it's important when you're working with kids to realise that we're all kids once. And there are some myths about kids, okay? People think girls wear pink and boys wear blue and all kids hate vegetables, right? Did you all hate vegetables when you were a kid? Yeah. All of them? You hated every single vegetable? Yeah. It's a strange idea to think that we could hate something that we've never tasted before. To hate something that is so wide in variety that I myself have, in my 30 years of living, never tasted every vegetable yet. And also, when you put a vegetable in a pot and boil it, it tastes very different to when you roast it, when you slice it thinly and sprinkle it with lemon juice or olive oil. And so to hate vegetables, do you really believe that kids hate vegetables? Chocolate. Now, how do children feel about chocolate? All children love chocolate. And so do all people, apparently. Now, I'm an innovation consultant. That's what I've done for the last 5 years, on and off. It's a very broad term, a broad idea. But in my career, I found myself sat with some of the top 20 innovators in chocolate, in Choco Mini Bites. And there was one time I sat there and I thought, it's amazing how much time we spend selling this thing that apparently everyone loves and solves all our problems, makes me feel great in the afternoon. Now, actually, there's a lot of thinking that goes into selling chocolate. And while chocolate was my client, I thought, it's a funny thing to be selling in this day of obesity, chocolate. It's a strange gift to give someone as well, a box of chocolates. What sort of friend is that who gives you a box of obesity? Watch out for those people giving you chocolates. And so I started to think, who would be my ideal client? Who would I really like to work for? And that's when I thought maybe I'd go and work for vegetables. I made vegetables my client. I started looking at vegetables. I thought, wow, it's amazing. They're multicolored, multi-flavored, multi-textured. I mean, Willy Wonka couldn't have made these in his chocolate factory. And Cadbury's definitely doesn't have a chocolate factory like Willy Wonka. So I thought, hang on, these guys are pretty tasty. Also, what do we know about vegetables? There's one thing we all know about vegetables. They're healthy! And they come from seed. The amazing thing about vegetables is I could give people an experience with them, because that's what all marketing is about. It's all about emotion and experience, getting close to it, hands-on. We all wanted to win the golden ticket to go and visit Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, because then we'd see where the chocolate was made. But I could give children seeds and they could grow their own vegetables. Now, to me, that was pretty amazing. And they can fit in your pocket. So, in 2009, I decided to work with my mum. I thought that would be good. 3 years on, I can say that we have survived, and my parents are still married, so that's good. Secret Seed Society was a collaboration of mother and daughter who had to fight out the things that we believed in and things that we thought we believed in, but maybe we didn't. And we got to the point where we were excited about working for vegetables and creating something for children. we decided children's would be our agent to get into the house and spread the word about vegetables, because kids are really exciting, and they're excitable, and they're good with their hands. They're fearless. And we've got a whole generation of people that have never cut vegetables, never grown them themselves, and those are the parents of a lot of children today. So, what do? We decided that we would approach everything the same way that I would approach things for other clients. So I looked at what was challenging for vegetables. First of all, people can't really recognize that many of them. So I decided that we needed characters. We needed people to start knowing the names of vegetables. You can't get to the vegetable aisle. I know I like the fact there's no packaging in the vegetable aisle. I think it's great that there's still part of the supermarket that you go to and there's just the thing that you want to buy and it says what it is and there's a price. Brilliant. But we can end up lost in the aisle. A cauliflower? How to cook a cauliflower? Over here, cauliflower cut with broccoli, beans, a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a butter block that I put in a microwave. Perfect. Let me take that home. So first of all, we can't recognize them, or we can't differentiate them. Secondly, we've forgotten how to experience them. And we've lost all the wonderful things that I find about vegetables. The fact that when you cut open a bean, there's all different layers. There's soft bits, there's hard bits. You might eat a bit raw before you cook it. We've lost that because it comes in packages and we've become scared of it. We've stopped having adventures with our vegetables. Thirdly, what about those stories? Those mood-making stories. Now, I know what someone's saying to me when they invite me around for a glass of champagne. And I know what you're telling me when my girlfriends ring me up and say they want pizza. You know, there is a message in food, there is a mood in food. But what am I telling you when I say I want to buy a pumpkin and bake it? What sort of mood am I setting with a baked pumpkin? So I wanted to start telling stories, start getting people to talk about those things. And the last thing is brand and characters. There's no better way for us to meet a brand than have a character come and hold our hand when we're little. And although I don't want to brand up vegetables, I do want someone to come and grab a child's hand and say, come along, I've got something good to tell you. So here they are. They are the residents of Seed City, which is the world that I spend most of my time living in. There's over 40 characters. They're all vegetables. They're all different vegetables. This is Carla Carrot. This is Bryony Brayburn. This is Sangeeta Spring Onion, Peter Parsnip, and Chrissy Cress. Next, I gave kids the seeds. And I sort of snuck them in the back of the storybook in the hope that adults would buy kids a book about these cute characters and they'd read it together and the seeds would fall out and then the kids would be like, oh, look, Mummy, the seeds. And Mummy would be like, oh, great. Oh, okay. And then they plant them. Maybe they've never planted a seed themselves before, but I wanted to make that totally fearless. I didn't want parents to worry about planting seeds with kids and feeling like they don't know the answers themselves. And so you plant the seeds, you get your vegetables, and then you eat them. It's an experience rich with moments, magic moments, the first leaf, the time that the slugs eat them, and you have to then think of how you're going to protect them. You know, it's full of stories, and that's why the third thing we did was we created a club. Because when you've got this many stories to tell about vegetables, from your growing, from your cooking, from your eating, then you need to share them with people. And we have a club for kids online, but we also have a network for adults. So if you have any growing questions, even if you don't have kids, maybe the Secret Seed Society is a place for you to come and share your adventures with vegetables. So, we're called the Secret Seed Society. But what's the big secret? There's no big secret about growing food from seed. But somehow, somewhere along the lines, we seem to have made it a really big deal. And I'd like the young people today to grow up teaching themselves, sharing stories in a way that maybe my generation didn't. Because I know what a Diet Coke break feels like because I saw it on TV. And I can imagine it. And I remember aspiring to it as a teenager. And I know still the Friday feeling of a crunchy. Because I saw that too. But those moments that I've had with vegetables, when I've sat down and had a crunchy carrot, a piece of celery, some beetroot, it's hard for me to remember that feeling and know that other people are having it. And so I challenge you to talk more about your moments with vegetables and forget those Diet Coke breaks, because they're not as sexy as they seem. Thank you.